The online piano and the online violin tutor. Today is a video on how to tune your violin, and I have discovered for all you guys out there that there are 8 different ways to tune your violin, and these are some of the little gadgets and gizmos that I have found for all you guys to tune your violin. So there should be absolutely something for everybody here. So I'm getting a lot of questions on people saying, how do I tune my violin up, and I haven't got a piano, I haven't got anybody, I haven't got this, so there should be one way for everybody to tune their violin from these 8 different ways of tuning your violin. So let's get started. Method number 1, tuning by ear. Now if you're lucky enough to have perfect pitch, I don't have 100% perfect pitch, but I have very, very, very near perfect pitch, but I can always tell whether my violin is out of tune, and I can always tell an A on the violin. So I like to tune my violin by ear. So if you've got perfect pitch, or you're capable enough of tuning your violin by ear, then this is the first way for you. So just tuning it by ear is just if you've got nothing there, or if you're lucky enough to have perfect pitch, you can tune your violin. The second way of tuning your violin is to actually use a piano. If you're lucky to have access to a piano, you can tune your violin by playing an A on the piano, which I have in the background here, and then you can use that sound to tune with. You can also, you're lucky enough with the piano that you can play the other notes as well to tune with, so that's a D. So that's if you know the notes on the piano, or you have access to piano or something like that. I would always start tuning with the A string, by the way, and then the D string, and then the G string, and then I would move to the E string. So second way is with a piano, if you're lucky enough to have a piano. Now the third way is using a tuning fork. So this is a tuning fork. So this is a tuning fork of A. So it's tuned, A is tuned to 440 Hertz. So this is a tuning fork. So you would hold the tuning fork between the two little between the two bumpy bits, so or the two inner sort of bits there. You would hold that, and basically you would hit it against a surface, and then you would hold it close to your ear, and you can hear a like a hum kind of noise. I'm going to hit it with the surface and hold it close to the camera and pray that it actually comes out on camera. So I don't know if that came out on camera there. If you want to increase the sound of this, you can actually sit it on a surface after you've hit it, and it does kind of vibrate a bit more. So for example, so if I just placed it on a level surface, you obviously wouldn't use your finger, but if you placed it on a surface, it just causes, I think, bigger vibrations, or I'm not really quite sure how the sound waves work exactly, but it does make it louder if you do hit it and then hold it against the surface. So all you need to do is just tap one side of the two little prongs against a wall. So imagine my finger was a wall, or a hard sort of surface of some sort. Be careful that you're not kind of bang it into a piano surface, because this is steel, or this is I think it's it's a steel tuning. It's a blued steel tuning fork, so obviously be careful that whatever you're hitting it into, you don't want to be indenting, so be very careful with what you hit it into. I just hit it against my wall, and it was absolutely fine. So you'd hit it against the surface, sort of just a quick bang, and then the two forks vibrate at 440 Hertz. This should be perfect, unless the steel gets bent in any way, shape or form, but this is very, very accurate. I like these. I always stick them in my violin case when I'm at an orchestra practice, or I'm out somewhere, but obviously I haven't got access to a piano or anything else. Hit it against the surface, hold it up to my ear, and then I've got an A. I know I don't have all the other strings, the D, the G and the E, but the fact that I'm using a tuning fork makes the fact that I'm experienced enough to be able to tune all my other strings just on tuning one string of A. If you really wanted to go mental, you could probably get hold of a D, a G and an E tuning fork as well, if you really wanted to do that. But if you're using a tuning fork, I would probably say that you've got the capability of tuning up all the other strings with just having the A in tune. But if you want to buy all four, you can do. I put links for everything underneath this video so you know where I'm getting everything from. But this was about £8-9, so I don't know, that translates to what, $13-14, something like that. So it would be quite expensive. You'd be looking at like 40 odd quid or so for getting all four of these, which is quite an expensive way of doing it. There's probably other things that you can buy for that. So that is the third way. Way number 4, I have one of these, which is a metronome. I featured it in my how does a metronome work video. So on this metronome at the bottom, the actual red dots on it, I can actually tune it to an A. It says here A 440. So if I move the dial and put the red dot on that and then switch it on, I'll hold it back because it's probably quite loud. It does actually give me an A, and this is a damn near perfect A as it can be as well. The only annoying thing is that if you do take it out and about, it's not terribly discreet, is it? So it's good to perhaps use at home, or if you are out and about and you can use it and it's a little bit noisy and you can get away with it, that's fine. You could use this in place of a tuning fork if you really wanted to, if you're perhaps at a noisy place tuning up outside maybe, or with a whole orchestra or whatever's going on and you just can't hear that tuning fork, you can just have a quick and then you've got your A. Again, you'll have to tune the other strings around just tuning this A, but that is method number 4 of tuning your violin. Number 5, very simply, get a friend or a teacher to tune it for you. If you've got somebody else that can tune your violin, or I don't know, if you wanted to pay a teacher or something to tune your violin, it depends how terribly out of tune your violin is. But number 5, if you've got access to a friend or a teacher or someone that you know that can tune your violin, that's another way of doing it as well, and that means that it's very cheap, especially if they're doing it for free for you. You don't have to buy any gadgets or gizmos or anything like that. So that's number 5. Number 6 are tuning pipes. So, which are these here? I'll put links to everything. Now this is, I think it's called a chromatic tuning pipe. So this, all you do is just move the dial here round. So it's in a circle. You blow through the little white sort of thing at the top here, and whatever is inside this sort of circle here is the letter you're tuning it to. So I think that says B, so it's backwards on the camera, and this is an A. I don't like these because they're not very well in tune. They're okay, but sometimes it depends on the temperature that these get. If they're too cold, or it's almost a bit like tuning kind of a woodwind instrument. You can only tune a flute so much before, you know, I don't think you're going to be able to tune it within an inch of its life, unlike you can with a violin. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that say tuning a flute, for example, does have a limited capability on how much you can do that. So I think this is very similar to this. So this isn't 100% accurate, but it is another way of tuning, and you just blow through it. I've got lipstick all over it now, but you just blow through it. And the good thing is that you do have you've got D sharp and E flats, you've got F sharp, so you've got everything you need here. It's a chromatic tuner, so you've got all the notes here that you need to tune, and this is universal, so you can use this for the violin, the guitar, whatever you're tuning. Flip it to the note, just twizzle the white thing, see it sort of turns like a dial kind of style at the back there, and there you go. But this isn't very accurate. I have tested it out, I'll show you in a second. It's not 100% accurate, but it's good enough, it's accurate enough. If you were a professional violinist and your life depended upon it and you were tuning up your violin, I would not use this, and they would not use this. You know, they'd tune up against the piano they were playing with, for example. But it's accurate enough for somebody out there who isn't in perhaps a professional situation and just wants to have one of these, or they play the guitar as well. So you've got your chromatic tuner. What's next? Number 7. You can get a tuning machine, like a clip-on sort of tuner. It's a clip style mini tuner. Let me turn it on for you. It just looks like this. It's not on at the well, yeah, it is on at the moment. You sort of slot the clip in. It sort of clips in and out, and you can twist it about depending on what instruments you're putting it on. So you can use it for guitar, you know, violin, anything like that, cello. Now this works on vibration, so you know, as I'm talking now, it's not picking up anything. However, if I la, so you can hear, I don't know if I think I've got that upside down. So if I'm putting it against my throat, for example, la, you can actually hear that it's working on the vibration. So what you would do is just stick it on one of the pegs of your violin, and then you'd probably bow. It's actually upside down, so that's a bit rubbish. Let me see if I can turn it around for you. Trying to do everything backwards on the camera is rather difficult. So you can have it this way. You wouldn't have this necessarily if you were tuning, because I can't actually see it now. I'm just doing it for the camera, so you could have a play around and twist it wherever you wanted to. So it works on vibration. So if I pluck the A string for you, so it's actually saying that my A string is near enough perfect. So as you can see, when I pluck it, the little dial moves up from here to the middle, and it has to hit the blue line in the middle. If it goes over to the red section, I'm slightly too sharp. If it stays in this yellowy section, then I'm slightly too flat. So there we are, I'm exactly, oh. So my G is slightly sharp, ever so slightly sharp. My D string should be perfect. What about my E string? So my E string's a little bit too sharp, so I haven't actually tuned the violin for this video because I wasn't using it, but that just shows you. So I'd say this is as close as you can get to this as well. This is a very, very, very accurate, very good tuner. In case you're wondering, I've cross-referenced it with the chromatic tuner as well, so I stuck it on the chromatic tuner and I blew down it, and this is how I know the chromatic tuner is not accurate. I tried it against the piano. I tried it against this as well. This was actually, this was actually, I think, perfect. So I've cross-referenced it with many things, so I know that this is accurate, the piano's accurate, all that kind of thing, in case you're wondering. So I wouldn't use this personally, but it's great for you know, for beginners or anybody who's not quite sure, if you can't quite tell if the string is ever so slightly sharp or ever so slightly flat. The only downside to this, I think, is that the ear is going to get lazy, because you're not going to be bothering to listen, or the brain's not going to be working. The ears aren't going to be listening, because you've got this tuner to tell you whether it's sharp or flat. So that's the only disadvantage, I'd say, to using something like this tuner, is that you can end up sort of getting a little bit lazy, but it is a good tuner, and it is very accurate nonetheless. And the final way of tuning one's violin is to get yourself an app on your phone. So this is the app called, what is it actually called? It's called G Strings. So I just downloaded it. I've got a Samsung phone. I just downloaded it from the Android market. It's free to download. It's very accurate, and I don't think I'm going to be able to do it and play at the same time. But it's just this. It works in a similar way to the other one. So I'm sorry if you're getting all the light reflecting off of this here, but the little needle just moves. So this actually, you can see the dial moving. It's actually picking up my voice as well. I've actually stopped talking for once. So it's actually saying it's, I think from this, that it's actually in tune. So you just have to press the button which says, now I just press stop tuning. I can actually have the sound of A on this as well, that you can hear. So that's at 440 Hertz as well, if you want to get the sound of the A. So this app is very good as well. If it's free, if you can have the capability on your phone, and you don't want to buy that little tuner. But all of these things are not very expensive. But that's 8 ways of tuning your violin. Might just mention, when you actually do tune your violin, you can either use the 4 pegs. I do, because I don't have any tuners, or you can use the fine tuners at the top here. I'd recommend that you stay away from the pegs if possible, and just use the tuners here. So there's a separate video on actually how to tune your violin, and check that one out. But these are 8 ways to tune your violin. So thanks very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it's been informative, and I hope it's helped some of you on how to tune your violin. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you all next time.